The image you see right here on the screen, have you ever thought about this little lock icon? Why does it even appear in your browser? What does it mean and why does it exist? That's basically an SSL certificate, and in this video exactly I'm gonna break down, I'm gonna explain what this is and what is the purpose of this, and I'm gonna also talk about why SSL certificate lists the subdomains and what makes them so valuable for reconnaissance. This is part one of a three-part series about the SSL certificate and certificate transparency log. If you want to learn how to practically query these certificate logs, you will have to watch the third part. And if you want to understand the basic how certificate transparency log works, you will have to watch the second part, right? But if you want to just understand the basic, I will be covering all of that in this video. So let's get started. So to first of all understand the SSL certificate transparency, we need to understand actually what is the SSL certificate, so that once we understand this, we will then easily understand what is the SSL certificate transparency. Okay. uh, SSL certificate, actually we need to understand why it exists and what does it mean, like the fundamental before understanding the transparency one. So when you visit a website, your browser connects to a server, you know that, right? The website is hosted on a server. So when you want to access a website, you connect to that specific server that the website is hosted on. Okay. So during this connection, several things happens behind the scene. First, the browser needs to verify that it's actually connecting to the server. Like for example, you want to connect to the amazon.com. So how does it know that, yeah, you are actually connecting to the amazon.com, not something else? How does it work? So that's what the SSL certificate help in. I'm going to explain what this means. Okay, and the second thing the happens behind the scene is that the connection between your browser and the server must be encrypted. Like what does it mean? Let's say there is a website, like for example a bank, your bank website. Okay, and there will be a login page. You will have to enter your username or email and password so that you can log into your bank account and do this stuff. Now it needs to be encrypted, meaning nobody should be able to read uh, the traffic that is going from your browser to the server, right? If someone is able to read that, they can just read your credential and log in and steal your money. So that must be encrypted as well. So this is where the SSL certificate comes in. An SSL certificate is a digital document, okay, that serves two critical purposes. The one is that it proves that specific server actually belong to that specific company or the organization. So it's like telling you that, yeah, actually you are connecting to the real server, not a fake one. And the second thing it enables the encryption. So the communication between you and the server gets encrypted because of the SSL certificate. The simple way to see if your connection is encrypted or not between your browser and the server is that right here you see this kind of lock icon. This means that our connection is encrypted, meaning it's using the HTTPS. If this was not encrypted, there will be this lock icon, but on that it will be like kind of a red line. So it means that your connection, that will mean that your connection is not encrypted. But right now it is encrypted, so we are okay with that. And this is what the SSL certificate help us in. Okay, now over here you see right here, SSL certificate works on domain and subdomain. In the previous video we have talked about like how we can find out the subdomain. We have done the subdomain enumeration. This also kind of related to that. So the SSL certificate, as I said, serves two purpose. One for the encryption, another is the another what it does is it verify that you are actually connecting to the server you want, not to something else. Now let's say you have a domain, the main domain example.com. So what you will do is you want it to be encrypted and also verify that, yeah, this is the actual server, not a duplicate or fake server that you can steal data from the user. So You will think you will need SSL certificate for your main website as well. And let's say there are other subdomain as well, like for example this admin.techcorp.com. This is the admin panel. So admin panel also needs to be encrypted, so that when you enter credential, it will not get leaked in a plain text. So this also need the SSL certificate. And other subdomain as well, like the dev tech corp, and other all of the most of the subdomains, right? Over here you can see each of these is a different domain slash subdomain, and each one needs to be encrypted with HTTPS, right? So when tech corp requests the SSL certificate, they need to tell the certificate authority, the company, the organization that issued the certificate, SSL certificate. You will tell them, I want to protect all of these subdomains, and this is my main domain, so that they will issue the certificate for all of those subdomain, right? And the I'm gonna show you where people buy certificate and for how much, what are different types, just to give you an idea. It's not really important, but just to give you idea, okay? So we have over here um SSL certificate buying. I'll just write this, and there will be a lot of them, but let's go with this website. Um, let's now wait and see. We have, this is the duration. You want to buy the SSL certificate for, let's click on the 1 year or 5 year. Let's select the 1 year, and this is the price we have. So first of all, let's change the currency to US dollars. So these are the certificate, and there are different type of these certificate. I'm gonna explain, okay? Over here, why not just us buy separate SSL certificate for each of this? Like for this, we get an one certificate, for this we get another, for this we get another. The reason we just buy one and kind of use it for a lot, for all of the subdomain, it's because of the cost that it comes with. SSL certificate is not free, it comes with a cost. So this is one of the main reasons. And beside this, it's complicated, and the management will get harder. Like for example, every time you add a new subdomain, you will need to request a new SSL certificate. And every time a certificate expire, usually every year it expires, we just saw that. So you will have to renew all of them one by one. So it will be a bit hard. The solution is a single certificate, that we have a single certificate, SSL certificate, that covers multiple subdomain instead of a single subdomain. And this is called wildlife certificate or multi-domain certificate, right? And this is also called subject alternative names. And over here you can see, I'm gonna show you. So this is domain, this is for single domain. This will only cover a single domain. You can see right here the price also reduced because it covers only a single domain. Now if I go here and click on this sub multiple domain, and you see right here the price increase, but what it's gonna do is it included 3 domain. And let's click on learn more, and you can see right here, I guess, if we buy this certificate, we are allowed to secure up to 100 domains. This is what I guess they are saying. So you see right here, the another one was for single domain. This is for hundreds domain. Like there is a limit, and this wildcard one is. If I click on this and this, I think there will be unlimited number of subdomain of a single domain. So this is like more like for business, big companies. Big companies usually buy this one. So this is cost effective, not like you will not have to kind of buy for all of the subdomain one by one separately. And the management is also easy. And if you buy a subdomain, like create another subdomain, you can just tell them, yeah, I want to use SSL certificate for this one as well. So this is a bit easier, and I think the reliable one for the big businesses. So let's say you buy a SSL certificate, you purchase one, and you will have to provide all of the subdomain to the authority subdomain and subdomain you want to protect, you want to encrypt. The certificate authority then creates one certificate that covers all of the subdomain, and it is then publicly registered in something called certificate transparency log, where it can kind of check that yeah, this is the certificate and this is this actually work for these specific subdomain and domain. The certificate must list all of the subdomain. It's a part of standard and it's a part of law. And the critical part over here is that when a company gets this certificate, they have to publicly declare every single domain and subdomain they want to protect with, they want to use the SSL certificate with. So if you could like hide which subdomain a certificate protect, the whole security system breaks and it won't be encrypted, and the system which is it will kind of get broken. So companies are forced to publicly declare here are all of the domains and subdomain we protect with this specific certificate. And because of this declaration, these declaration are stored permanently in a public database which is publicly accessible, and this is called certificate transparency logs, right? And anyone can access these log, anyone can query them, anyone can see every domain and subdomain a company has, like a certificate for a specific certificate they are trying to protect with these with all of them, all of the subdomains, right? So overall the summary will be, we learn what is subdomain. I mean, we learn in the previous video what is subdomain, we learn in this specific video what is SSL certificate, what it does, what its purpose, and how you can buy one, and why certificate SSL certificate needs to list all of the subdomain, why company uses them, and why it must be publicly available, right? So all of the we have understood all of this. In the next video I'm gonna explain why the certificate transparency log, where all of the subdomain, where I just told you when you buy a certificate you list all of the subdomain and it is then stored in publicly database, publicly accessible database. So we'll in the next video we will understand why that database, that publicly accessible database is so important and valuable for us when we are doing enumeration, okay, about our target. So I will see you in that one. See you soon.